I thought I'd begin today by looking at some comments, and one by Vera Narishkin says, "Don't worry, Russia has hundreds more major missile dumps all over the country, so this Ukrainian strike hasn't even made the slightest little dent in Russia's arsenal. Bunker busters? Yeah, you have no idea in your ignorance of the size and weight of a bunker buster. It would require a gigantic drone to carry one. Though they weigh over 2 tons. A drone capable of carrying that would be the size of several double-decker buses. You're too funny. You're very deeply on the wrong side of history. One day you'll realize it and will crumble with shame." Well, yeah, I know. First of all, the bunker buster bombs that we've got are incredibly heavy, but maybe there's another, maybe by applying our mind to it, as indeed the Ukrainian scientists have done, there is a solution for bunker busting with drones. The reality is this is what has been done on a warehouse that was put up and celebrated as a nuclear bomb proof. So clearly they've done something. This warehouse was built in such a way there were little groups of storage units interspersed by giant sort of dams of mud, so that one explosion wouldn't then trigger another explosion in another area. That's exactly what's happened. And so all that effort and all that celebrated architecture has failed because there was some sort of bunker busting system. And so to assume that the Ukrainians have simply tagged a traditional bunker busting bomb onto a drone, something like a GBU-57A or B, this ordnance penetrator, this 30,000-pound bunker buster. Well, clearly they haven't done that, because that would be impossible to carry on a drone. So they've got round the problem. They've thought outside the box. And I find that something to celebrate rather than something to ridicule. And as for being on the wrong side of history, this is a trope that is used in Russian propaganda, so I can only assume that Vera Narishkin is a Russian troll. It's difficult not to think anything else. And struggling a little with the translation device, because you've had to edit the text a number of times. But thank you for taking the effort. I don't think... I don't look upon history as my judge. I look upon principles of right and wrong, and sometimes I'm not quite correct, but that doesn't really matter, does it? You can go back and you can revise things, and I've never set the channel up as a sort of oracle of truth, rather of authenticity. And I'm only too happy to put my hands up when I think there's something wrong. In this case, I really don't. In this case, I think there's something to applaud. As for the Israeli strike on walkie-talkies and pagers, I'm in two minds about it, because in terms of the precision attack, you have to contrast the terrorism that throws rockets and indiscriminately kills, with this targeted action against specific Hezbollah activists, who are the only ones holding these pages, the only ones holding the walkie-talkies. Now, the fact that their families also get attacked is heinous, and I find that very difficult to reconcile with my salute to the brilliance, to the ingenuity But even one civilian being killed is unacceptable. And children being killed by these wars, I'm afraid I cannot applaud their deaths. I cannot applaud the indiscriminate killing of civilians, and particularly children. So I find that a difficult moral dilemma, but it doesn't stop me admiring the ingenuity of the effort. And when it comes to the bunker busting drones, I take my hat off. It's a stupendous effort by the Ukrainians, demonstrating, among other things, that they really don't need these weapons from Britain, or they don't need permission from Britain to use these weapons. The Storm Shield. It's not necessary. They have their own devices, and they have done very well. And I think the ingenuity is commendable.